Right, first thing you need to do is copy the background. Just copy the background layer so you can always go back to the original. Then select the healing brush, going to increase the size, and then just alt click to pick a point and brush over imperfections. You can see the little cross is where I'm selecting from, where I'm pressing alt and clicking. Just keep changing that point every time. Brush out spots, marks, shadows. Pretty much the healing brush is going to be your main tool until we do a little bit of airbrushing. Don't go near any edges because the healing brush will blend edges. If you want to go to a straight line or an edge, then use the clone stamp with the same movements, but the healing brush is much better. It blends in everything you go over. It's brilliant. Great invention, Photoshop. So I'm pressing the space bar when I'm moving around. If you just put your finger on the space bar, you can just shift around the image. Start at 100%, get rid of all the imperfections, and then zoom out using Command plus to zoom in and Command minus to zoom out. Keep going in and out so you can see things that stand out when you look at the image small, and then you can get right in there in case your image is going to be printed big. Yeah, get rid of all those little hairs, pores. You can keep changing the size of the brush. Get rid of those lines. Dark circles, shines, pretty much anything. Just keep practicing with the healing brush and keep practicing with pretty much everything you use. Just getting rid of some dry lips. Tiny little brushes. Evening those out. Main thing with retouching as well is learn your shortcuts. Learn a few shortcuts and you'll be a damn sight quicker when you retouch. You don't want to be going to the menu all the time. Right, so we're going to do some airbrushing. So you make a new layer by clicking on the new layer icon. So it's a brand new clean layer. Select the brush tool. Select your size of brush. I'm going to get a really big one for this. The opacity, set the opacity down and just brush over. It's literally like putting foundation, putting powder on a model. I'm alt clicking to select the colours. So picking up the darker skin tone of her cheeks, the lighter skin tone where she's lit the front on her forehead, and you're literally just brushing over. Don't worry if you go a little bit too far at this stage because we can fade back. So you're literally applying makeup to the model, covering any shine, brushing over to reduce shadows, evening out the skin tone. Have fun with this bit. We can delete and we can fade it back later on. I always change my brush size. I'm using a little brush here to get rid of the shadows by her eyes. A little brush to get rid of her nose shine. Blending in those shadows. You'll get used to this when you practice. You'll get used to automatically selecting the size that you prefer for whatever you're airbrushing at the time. Lining up her eyes, lining up that shadow a bit. Have a look at it. And now her face is perfect. Her neck is going to stand out, something a lot of people miss. Just go over all the skin on her neck so she doesn't look like she's got an odd face. There we go. Before and after. Big difference. I'm going to reduce the opacity down to 60%. That'll do. There you go. And then I just merge down that layer to the top layer that we made, and then I copied it again. There are no need to have a million layers in Photoshop. You have 2 layers, have 2 layers all the time. That's all you need. And now I'm taking and removing the blemishes. Now we've merged our airbrushing into the skin. Plucking her eyebrows, getting rid of any more blemishes, really evening out that skin tone. It's a lot smoother now. She looks a lot better. Bit more airbrushing, just lightening up her eyes there. Now take a small healing brush, get rid of any blood lines in her eyes, and just blend to even out the whites. Giving him that shadow there, and those little lines. That's looking better. And now take a small brush tool, pick up a nice bright bit of the white, brush over very subtly. We don't want these mega white eyes that look fake, but brush over a little bit. Then select the lasso tool, select the whites of the eyes. You're going to feather by about 3. Apple J pastes to a layer, and then we can paste just the whites of the eyes that you selected, your selection, to a layer, and then we can use the levels to brighten up those eyes. Don't want to overdo it, that's about right. We've merged down that layer. And now we'll clean up the background. Use the stamp tool for this. And then we want to even up this white in the background, so we're just going to select white with the brush tool. Brush right over it to make that nice and white. And then I'm using the erase tool to just take off the white that's gone onto the body and the hair. You can use a mask for this. You should use a mask if you want to get it perfect, but because there was only a little bit of shadow, I'll just use a big brush. Now we can dodge and burn. Using the burn tool to bring out her cheekbones, bring out some shadows, just put a little bit of shadow back into the face to make it pop. Bringing out the colour in her lips, her eyes. Put some blusher on her. There we go, very different image. Go right in and we'll show you before and after. Looks very different at 100%. And then if you've finished, merge down, Apple E to merge down, and you're done.